Alright, it looks like we've got a bit of an update on Spider-Man 4 because, as a lot of you probably know, Marvel and Sony are kind of arguing about what that movie should be. Sony wants it to be a big multiverse movie, and Marvel, Kevin Feige, and Tom Holland want it to be a street level film. But according to Alex from the Cosmic Circus, it says here that Sony and Kevin Feige are currently negotiating a middle ground that would let Spider Man 4 have both a street level and multiverse element to its story. Now, that is obviously pretty difficult to do because, if they want to bring in other Spider-Mans or maybe Miles Morales, who knows, and then the multiverse opens up, but then it's still a street level story with like Daredevil, maybe Kingpin. I don't really know how that's going to flow well. This is what Spider-Man 4 should be because No Way Home perfectly set it up for a great street level Spidey film, and if they don't take this opportunity, I don't know if Tom Holland is ever going to get a street level film. A Daredevil Spidey team up film against Kingpin, oh my god, I think everybody wants that. But if this is true, that Sony and Marvel are negotiating a way to kind of make both of their dreams happen here, making it a multiversal movie but also a street level film, I have a couple of ideas on how you could actually do that. And before we dive into that, I also want to let you guys know that Alex from the Cosmic Circus also said that he's hearing there's going to be roughly a 5% chance that Toby and Andrew are in this movie. So now that gets me really, really intrigued because how the heck is this going to be a multiversal movie without the other Spider-Mans? Because that's what everybody thought Sony wanted to do. I 100% thought this is what Sony was planning on, just bringing Andrew and Toby back, make a big multiverse Spider-Verse movie, make a few $1 billion and call it a day, but I guess that's not what they want. Okay, so now on to my scenarios. So scenario 1 is it's going to be a street level film with Daredevil, Kingpin. It's going to be a really grounded, gritty Spider-Man in the streets movie, which is going to be awesome. But then it was going to tie to the multiverse by the company that Peter Parker is interning or working for. Because from a rumor that happened a couple of weeks ago, it was saying that Peter Parker is going to be working for Kang Industries, and then it was going to be revealed that a variant of Kang called Mr. Griffin actually owns this company and bought Avengers Tower. Now, if that's the case, and we have a Spider-Man, Daredevil, Kingpin street level story while Peter Parker is working for a Kang variant and he does not know it, that is a good way to incorporate a multiversal story into a street level film. What I don't want to happen is that the film is a street level movie for Act 1 and 2, and then Act 3, everything just goes wild and off the rails, and people start popping up from different universes, and then other Spider-Man show up and help Spidey and Daredevil fight all the villains or whatever. I do not want that. But I think by tying Spider-Man 4 to the Multiverse Saga, which we've heard is a huge rumor right now, that Kevin Feige is going to be linking Spider-Man 4 directly into Avengers 5, if they do that, I think that's a pretty good way to do it because there's also a lot of rumors that Tom Holland is going to be a lead in Avengers 5 and 6, and this is a great way to do it. You give a street level film while he's working for a Kang variant at Kang Industries, and then maybe the post-credit scene, it's revealed that Mr. Griffin is a Kang variant, and then that ties over Spider-Man to the next Avengers movie pretty well, I would say. It could be revealed that Peter's boss is in fact a variant of Kang, and I think that would set him up perfectly to be a lead in Avengers 5. And we also heard rumors that Paul Rudd's Ant-Man might make a cameo in this movie, and I think if he pops up, it's probably going to be at the end of the movie or a post-credit scene. Maybe he's the one to figure out that Mr. Griffin is a Kang variant, because as of right now, he's like the only Avenger or hero that's actually faced off against Kang, and he's probably looking for him because at the end of his movie, he's like, we took care of him, right? And he starts questioning it, and then maybe he's looking for evidence of Kang in the MCU, and I think, if he finds out that Mr. Griffin is a Kang variant, and then he meets up with Tom Holland's Peter Parker and lets him know what's going on, and then they go find the Avengers for Avengers 5 to go off and fight Kang, that's another great way to tie it over to the whole multiverse saga. But yeah, that's scenario 1, basically street level film, and then maybe teasing towards multiversal stuff near the end. Now, my second scenario on how this movie could unfold is all about the Venom symbiote, because as you guys probably know, at the end of No Way Home, a bit of the Venom goo was left over in the MCU, and if it does bond with Peter Parker, he's going to gain access to the multiversal hive knowledge, and then maybe, some way, somehow, it connects over to the Sony universe. We heard from Daniel RPK that the Sony Cinematic Universe is going to be merging with the MCU potentially, and I don't really know how they could do it, but maybe this is a way. But honestly, this is just such a messy way to merge universes. Like, I don't even know how they could do it in a way that actually makes sense. But I know Sony is obviously trying to barter with Kevin Feige, and they're saying, like, yeah, if you want to have Spider Man for years to come and be in multiple Avengers movies and all that, you got to play ball, you know? You're going to have to let us merge our universe with yours somehow. And I just don't know how they do that. So yeah, scenario two obviously doesn't sound that great. It sounds very messy, very clunky, very out there. Honestly, I hope they go with scenario one because I think that actually works really well for the story that Marvel Studios is trying to tell. But this scenario with like the symbiote and the Spider Verse merging, or the Sony universe merging with the MCU, it's just absolutely trash. And there's actually one more scenario on how this movie could be multiversal, and that's due to Sony apparently wanting Miles Morales to make his live action debut in Spider Man 4. This could be the animated Miles Morales jumping over to live action at the end of Beyond the Spider Verse. Or this could literally be the MCU Miles Morales getting bit by a multiversal spider or something and becoming Spider Man. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this would be pretty cool, but I think it's a little bit too early in Tom Holland's Spider Man story because he's still very young, and for him to possibly mentor the MCU Miles, I think it's just way too early. They're gonna be similar in age, and it's just not gonna work. And I don't really know how you could do the bringing over the animated version over to live action. If that's the route they're gonna go, I feel like that could get kind of messy. Like, don't get me wrong, it would be cool. I just don't know how that's gonna work. Like, he's just gonna fly over into the MCU and then just randomly start helping Spider Man fight Kingpin or whoever. I don't really know. There is just so many different ways that this movie can be street level but also multiversal. Let me know how you guys think that Sony and Marvel is going to handle Spider-Man 4. Do you think it's going to be with a Kang variant and Mr. Griffin? Do you think it's going to have to do with Venom and like Null and the Spider-Verse and all that and the symbiotes? Or do you think it's going to be with Miles Morales?